You've obviously lost your virginity, right? Imagine being asked such a deeply personal and somewhat accusatory question. Would it shock you to believe that almost every single black girl has been asked something like this? Nicki Minaj, Sexy Red, Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce, SZA, and many more are responsible for the way that black women are perceived in today's society. And in turn, they're altering the existence of black teenage girls. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining me here today. Today, I want to delve into a topic that is completely changing the lives of black girls all across the world: the adultification bias. This bias, fueled by harmful stereotypes and biased perceptions, has completely altered the way that society perceives black women. I want you to imagine a world where adolescence is universally recognized as a time of growth, self-discovery, and exploration. Unfortunately, this is not the reality for the majority of black teenage girls. The adultification bias refers to the tendency to perceive black girls as much older and less innocent than their white peers. A study by Georgetown University overwhelmingly showed that adults perceive black girls between the ages of 5 and 14 as less innocent and in less need of protection than their white counterparts. But let's delve into the concept of the adultification bias. The adultification bias can manifest itself in a variety of ways, from this idea that black girls need to act older for society to the inadvertent consequences they may experience in educational environments. This bias not only robs them of their childhood, but can extremely affect the way that they interact with society. One of the most alarming aspects of the adultification bias is its influence in educational environments. You see, oftentimes, black girls are disciplined more harshly for the exact same immature behavior as their white peers. This reinforces the idea that as a black girl, society no longer sees you as a child, but rather an immature adult facing disproportionate consequences. Another often overlooked aspect of the adultification bias is this idea that black girls don't need mental health check-ins. You see, the stereotype of the strong black woman has automatically been transferred down to the younger generations. This disparity reinforces a negative feedback loop that teaches black girls the suppression of vulnerability, and that as a black girl, you're not allowed to ask society for help. You see, I stand here before you today to talk about the adultification bias because I am a victim of the adultification bias. I want you to picture this. It's the beginning of my freshman year. I am extremely nervous. I walk into my class and sit down as the teacher starts her lesson, and the kids in front of me are talking. The teacher, who's obviously frustrated, instead of addressing the entire class, singles me out and explains that there will be consequences for my disruptions. You can obviously imagine my frustration and confusion for being publicly humiliated for something I didn't do. Don't you know who I am? Don't you know why I'm here? Don't you know that I care about my education? But she didn't. She saw a black girl, heard disruptions coming from my side of the classroom, and assumed the worst. Nevertheless, I quickly emailed her later that night, apologized for actions that I did not commit, and expressed my deepest sympathies for having to teach a classroom full of rowdy teenagers. Because at 13 years old, I understood how the world saw me. I understood that if I wanted to be successful in her class, that I had to reach out and I had to be the adult in the situation. But how did we get here? Media plays a significant role in perpetuating harmful stereotypes, from hypersexualized images to inaccurate representation. Black girls have no room to create their own identities. It's important to note that the adultification bias is not a one-size-fits-all issue. Every Black teenage girl's story is unique, but the increasingly difficult challenges created by today's media make it extremely burdensome for them to create their own identities. But how can we fix the adultification bias? We can start by educating ourselves and others about all that the adultification bias entails. From then, we can start promoting accurate, positive media that completely encapsulates the complexity of Black girls' identities. Let us work together to empower and uplift Black girls' voices so they can feel free to embrace their authentic identities and shape their destinies without the weight of society's unfair perceptions. Thank you.